Humor consumer.
It's great to be back at a place that I know very well because I built it. And I'm very proud of it because I built it for $2.9 billion less than the Federal Reserve building, which is a lot smaller, by the way. Figure that one out.
I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Jerome Powell has done a terrible job, and frankly, I don't think he could do a worse job.
Am I supposed to be serious? Am I supposed to be a comedian? So I guess you said maybe a little bit of everything. I know one thing, I could never have done the speech that I had ready, just a short while. Oh, that was going to be a doozy. I was so psyched. I was going to rip people. But we'll do a little ripping if you don't mind.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
Everyone's looking really good tonight, and I know it was not easy finding shoes to go along with your bulletproof vests, which many people didn't want to wear because they'd rather die than look 20 pounds heavier. You know that, right? But I can exclusively reveal to you this evening that for the heaviest of the heavyweights, we will have sloppy Chris Christie, one of the sloppiest human beings you'll ever meet, fighting, I would say, I could mention the governor of Chicago, but I'm going to mention instead Jerry Nadler. And they're fighting for a big piece of cheesecake, big fat piece of cheesecake. Who the hell wrote that line? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC plus 3. That's her 3 friends, right? AOC plus 3, and I watched her give that answer when she was over in Europe. It was not a good answer. If I ever gave that answer, I would be out of politics. Remember, you cannot have a 19-second wait time to answer really a quite simple question.
Would and should the U.S. actually commit U.S. troops to defend Taiwan if China were to move?
I think that this is such a, I think that this is this is, of course, a very long-standing policy of the United States. And I think what we are hoping for is that we want to make sure that we never get to that point. And we want to make sure that we are moving in all of our economic research and our global positions to avoid any such confrontation and for that question to even arise.
Some people are really fucking stupid.
What about Bruce Springsteen? What the hell happened to that guy? He looks like hell. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not supposed to say, I'm sure he doesn't like the way I look, but I don't look so bad. But at a recent concert, Bruce, all he did was talk politics. He ought to run for office. That'd be interesting. But all he talked about, he made 4 political speeches in his 3-hour show.
Just don't believe your eyes. It's our blood and bones and these whistles and phones against Miller and Gnome's fucking lies.
The tour has been renamed Bored in the USA. And his new song was so bad that Chris Christie, who's like a fan, he goes out and tells everybody how he hates Chris Christie. Keep that guy out of my... And I see Chris Christie there again, high-fiving Bruce Springsteen in the aisle, and Bruce Springsteen saw him and didn't even lift his hand up. And I just wanted, because I used to be friendly with Chris, when somebody doesn't like you, write them off, forget it. You got billions of people in the world, you don't have to make a jerk out of yourself. But this year the association decided not to have a comedian, so they considered using Jimmy Kimmel.
It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go.
Jimmy Fallon, these guys, they're terrible. They're terrible. Stephen Colbert, these are people without talent. They get a lot, they have talent. You know who has talent? Their agent, getting them the money they get. They have no talent. So they thought about going with a professional clown for entertainment, but Adam Shifty Schiff was not available. He's known, I called him, I hate some people, I shouldn't say this, I'm not supposed to hate, I'm supposed to love everybody. But he's a terrible person, he's a liar. And I called him Watermelon Head because he has the largest head I've ever seen with the smallest neck, pencil neck. How does that big, fat, ugly head stand on a little pencil neck?
Pencil neck. He's a marvel. No, he's a structural marvel. He has a neck, and his head is like a watermelon, and his neck. And how that neck can hold up that big, oversized, ugly head is hard to believe.
And then I'm told that even Rosie O'Donnell reached out from Ireland. She really wanted to be here in order to honor me. She loves me very much, and she was desperate to come back to the United States and pay her respect to Donald J. Trump.
He is a con man, he is a narcissist, and he is a psychopath, if you ask me.
But that didn't work out, unfortunately, because nobody wanted her to come back. But she's one of the greatest sufferers of Trump derangement syndrome. She's a sick young woman, sick older woman, I guess now I have to say.
64 years old.
I hope that everyone finally got to enjoy their entire, very delicious beef tenderloins, very special beef. And I want you all to know that Bobby Kennedy, who's right here, personally ran over the cow in his car. And he cut it up and he brought it here for you to eat tonight. So it's very fresh. And Bobby also suggested an appetizer featuring his favorite cut of male raccoon roadkill. But we drew the line at that, Cheryl. We said, no, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that. We love Bobby. I'll tell you, it is a piece of work. You think it is fun, but he is a very different kind of a person, I will tell you. Of course, this evening, it's really all about the fake news media.
Because they are the most dishonest people on earth.
You know, Academy Awards used to be the epitome of ratings. Outside of the Super Bowl, it got the second most ratings. Now it's down in the dumps. Nobody wants to watch it anymore because they took on Trump. They hit me all night long. They hit me. The winner is so-and-so. I want to talk about Donald Trump. I hate this man. Nobody wants to hear this stuff. Right, Peter? Nobody wants to hear it. You ever see the ratings? They used to have 48 million people. Now they have 2 people watching. But they'll learn their lesson. But I want to personally congratulate CNN's Kaitlan Collins on receiving her award. It was all about me. It's a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. I said, Kaitlan, congratulations. But it was fake. There's no question about it. But she's a young, attractive woman. She never smiles. I said, Kaitlan, do you ever smile? Smile. It's very simple. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you. You have a nice position. You're at CNN Fake News. You should be a happy person. So smile, Kaitlan, just smile. But we attack, and I thought Kaitlan had really made it big with a major new sponsorship, but then I informed her that it wasn't her on the Bud Light can, it was Dylan Mulvaney.
Yeah, and that's why I wake up every day and I feel stuck.
And Dylan Mulvaney cost Bud Light $35 billion in market cap. That was the worst commercial ever made, by the way, for those few people that want to hear that. But some people say that Jake Tapper is a great investigative reporter in D.C., and that's why after moderating our debate, it only took him 1 year to break the story that Joe Biden might possibly have suffered from cognitive decline. It took him 1 year. He wrote a book about how great he was mentally, not too good. And I don't like Biden because Biden was very unfair to a lot of people.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
What did he say?
And it's traditional that at least 1 or 2 potential presidential hopefuls attend the Correspondence Dinner, but many of them seem to have really chickened out. I was disappointed that Gavon Newsome didn't show up. He didn't show up. He should be here. But I heard that he recently said that we will lose our country if we don't fight fire with fire. And to be fair, there's only one thing we know about Gavon, and that's that he definitely doesn't want to fight fire with water. He's got a lot of water he never uses. Gavon Newsome recently did a career-threatening, one of the worst interviews I've ever seen, where he said that He can't read a speech. He's incapable of reading a speech.
You've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
I'm watching this interview. I said, this is the worst interview I've ever seen given by a professional politician. I've been watching politicians for a long time. Ilhan Omar, one of my favorites, and her brother are thinking about moving together, very much in love. The video has surfaced recently of Ilhan giving a speech referring to World War II as World War XI.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
And they asked her about that. She thought she got it right. But I'm not surprised because she's a low IQ person. And the word Democrat is something that's come into fashion. I changed the E with a U, and most people don't know that dumb has a B, so we don't have to worry about that. It's very quiet. I thought it was quite good, but I haven't gotten much credit for that. Fake news, good. Pocahontas, good.
She of the great tribal heritage. What tribe is it? Let me think about that one.
Never used the fat word, and I don't. I would never call anybody fat. I have my own problems, you know? It's not like I'm perfect. Sir, in the back, don't call him a fat pig, okay? I'm sticking up for him. Don't call him you. You can't do that, sir. You can't call J.B. Pritzker a fat pig, please. All right? Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sir, please do not call him a fat pig. That's very disrespectful. Don't call him. See, I'm trying to be nice. Don't call him a fat pig. You can't do it.
Everyone's trying to figure out who is that guy, does he exist? But the nice part is when you do that, the press can't get you. We invited Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. She's referred to Pocahontas because, in fact, I had to apologize. People came up and they said, we want you to apologize to Elizabeth Warren.
Who, Pocahontas? Pocahontas. Well, no, look, she is
Very offensive.
You tell me. Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Pocahontas? Is that what you said? Elizabeth Warren?
And I ended up apologizing to the real Pocahontas.
I want to apologize. I'll use tonight. Pocahontas, I apologize to you. I apologize. To you, I apologize. To the fake Pocahontas, I won't apologize.
But Elizabeth Warren was supposedly of Indian heritage.
And she said she was Native American, but she wasn't able to document it. She said, well, I have high cheekbones. You see, I have high cheekbones, so I'm a Native American.
And then she took the test and she only had 1,024th Native American. And I said, you know what? I think I'm more of an Indian than she is.
She said she was Indian. And I said that I have more Indian blood than she does, and I have none. I'm sorry.
One man that we had who should be here, he turned Palestinian. This was a man who was 100% for Israel. 100%. Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck. Remember, he cried at the airport over illegal immigrants.
This executive order was mean-spirited and un-American.
They were the fakest tears. There were people throwing water in his face. But now he's a proud, very proud Palestinian. But Chuck wanted to join us tonight, but he didn't want to be violating many parts of the Palestinian rules, regulations, and certainly he didn't want to violate Sharia law, his new founding. James Telefrico, who hates guns, hates oil, hates sex, hates women, and who said he is, quote, a Christian who hates Christianity. Other than that, I think his platform is quite good.
God is non-binary.
And I want to save your ratings. I'm pleased to announce my intention to, and this is somewhat of a scoop, my intention to run for a fourth term as President of the United States. I will be having an official, in fact, I think I have, I won 3 times, Now I'm going to do it again. Thank you. I'm going to do it. Should be easy. I'm getting very good at running for president. And I just want to thank you for having me. And it's been fun. And I've met a lot of great people. And, I used an expression, and I've used it right from the beginning. I did this for one reason, to make America great again. And that's what's happening right before your very eyes. We have made America great again. And it's going to get a lot greater. So thank you all very much. It's an honor to be with you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have 24 Trump 2028 hats. His folks keep sending me.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.